we have state of the state and state of the country. We will not fail to take that because it's part of the conversation that they may chip in something. And one of them has to do with the happy hour, which has finally been flagged off and rebranded by His Excellency Governor Duneman, His Excellency Dr. Pastor Umar Basi Eno. We're going to talk about that. And then there's a report of the House of Representatives Committee on the review of the Constitution, 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, having to do with state creations. And we are hearing some are saying, oh, there are 30 states demand. Mostly people are saying 31 states. We're going to know the truth about that, and maybe they also chip in what they have to. But the main issue on the front burner has to do with the series we are running. And this is the 16th edition that Open Forum is trying to see how we can bring ideas from subject matter experts and patriots to see how we do the stock taking and agenda setting for an Akwa Ibom without oil. Like Professor Azayomana would say, Akwa Ibom without crude oil, because we have other forms of oil. So today we are going to look at harnessing palm produce, blue economy, airline and aviation businesses to boost our IGR. Those are the things that we are going to look at. But as usual, though I won't spend too much time on that, is the fact that we normally review what we did the previous week, which was on the 3rd, when we hosted Professor Azayomana and Dr. Ubum from Vienna. He spoke to us from Vienna. And these are some of the things that we arrived at. It's very important because we don't just do a program and that ends there, because we must follow up. We advocate that the love for Nigeria should make every citizen contribute historical and contemporary ideas on how to make the country better. That was the advocacy put out by Professor Azayomana. And then jettisoning of secularism of Nigeria and expanding the establishment of Sharia court for Islamic adherents from northern states to the southern is inimical to the peaceful coexistence of the country. That is because Western states, we talk about Sharia courts, is very topical there now. And we also, Akwa Ibom State government should secure implementable health policy and effective use of Ibom Specialist Hospital and other medical facilities to drive medical tourism to the state and thereby improve the IGR. Dr. Ubum was very specific on this because with medical tourism, giving some countries billions of dollars, Akwa Ibom has whatever it takes, and we dealt with that. And very importantly to the issue that President Trump has suspended HIV and AIDS grants, which used to go through USAID, and then we may likely have prevalence of HIV and AIDS in the country because there are no funding, and we arrived at the resolution that there should be local funding, and then pharmaceutical companies should be established where these medical drugs could be manufactured for our use. And then for the Akwa Ibom State government that spent 502 billion in 3 months, ending the 2024 fiscal year, has raised some issues which we have appealed to His Excellency the Governor to address, so that the kind of goodwill he's enjoying will not be tempered because of misinformation and whatsoever else. And then the unprecedented endorsement of the Senate President by Governor of Akwa Ibom State for second term, we have raised the question, will the Senate President and the APC reciprocate? Those who are aware saw the video where His Excellency was saying that we cannot send another senator there. Will you be able to become a Senate President? And we must be able to protect our own. That is a very different thing. The PDP governor talking about an APC senator and Senate President. We are waiting because so far, some big wigs in APC are saying that they are going to take over Akwa Ibom State, while the governor is saying a Senate President must continue second term. Those are the issues we dealt with. And now for today, without wasting time, I want to welcome our guest once again, and we want to go to the state of the state and state of the country. Let charity begin at home, having to do with the happy hour. I must give this background. His Excellency said during the campaigns he was going to have every weekend, every Friday, happy hour where drinks will be subsidized. If a drink is sold for 200 naira, you just pay 50 naira and drink. But for us, for me as a person, I said that idea may never be implementable. And unfortunately, the aides to His Excellency could not think out anything to see how that can be rebranded. But Open Forum in October, we came up with this program, which is actually in support of the Arise Agenda, Happy Hour Initiative, and the Renewed Hope for Nigerians. That is what we call this program. If you look at our promo, you see it from day one. And we have other ideas we can use the happy hour to do. Because when oppressed people are attended to, that is their happy hour. But he went to Lagos for the This Day Award, and a comedian movie brought out that joke on the happy hour. And I'm glad it's not 2 weeks. His Excellency came and rebranded the happy hour. And 550 million naira was given as grant, as awards to certain groups of persons. And then the dancing and rejoicing and all of that. I will just want to throw it open to our very eminent guests to just share their thoughts on the rebranded happy hour, which may not be every week, but whenever it comes and however it comes. Let me start with Professor Isaiah Omana.
Thank you, sir.
Happy hour. What is your thoughts about happy hour?
Well, every dream starts with an idea, an implementable dream. The governor is the practitioner in the tourism
hospitality industry.
Hospitality and tourism industry. So that background must have been
influenced his...
developing in his mind, how can I use what I know to help the citizens? So he talked of the happy hour. I think happy hour is an idea that citizens can use, like you said, and create it in such a way that it becomes functional. Functional not only by government motivation,
absolutely,
but by private citizens
initiative.
Taking that, if you're a hotelier, how do you induce people to come and drink?
Patronize you?
Yes. If you have a golf course, how do you get people to get to play? And even if they play for an hour or longer. If you have an airport, how do you get people to fly from wherever, to Akwa Ibom airport, so that they can now get into the countryside?
Absolutely.
And enjoy themselves. If you go to a country like Italy, you find that, or Romania, you find tourists living with people. And because they live with people, they subvent the housing condition of those people.
That's right.
And they live in homes and rather than hotels.
Really?
Yes. And they pay the homeowners. So the idea can be put together. The idea that the governor brought about can be put together by citizens.
Let us do this. I want to read exactly what His Excellency said, and then I'll get to Captain Augustine Okun to share his thoughts. He's a global citizen by virtue of his kind of work as a pilot. His Excellency said, "We are gathered to empower and encourage small, medium-scale enterprises, ensuring they leverage the skills and creativity to stimulate economic growth and personal development. We are here to celebrate passion, excellence, and the spirit of healthy competition, whether through sports, service delivery, and entrepreneurship. Tonight, we are here to celebrate what happy hour represents. And what does that represent? Rewards for hard work, talent, creativity, and industry. When you put in the work, you should take time to celebrate your effort." Captain Augustine Okun, you have traveled all over the world repeatedly. What is your input on how happy hour can be celebrated beyond what Open Forum is doing, which will bring people who have been oppressed, will make their voices to be heard, and they are happy that, they have been heard because they were never heard. And Prof has just talked about private sector coming in to see what to do to attract people and making them happy for whatever period. It's not a matter of an hour or a way of life. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. I must say that I have not given this topic of happy hour a lot of thought, and but I work with local people now. I work in the village as a farmer, and when I see the level of poverty there, I actually my opinion here may not be very helpful.
Yeah.
Because the culture I meet in the village now is a little different from what it was when I was growing up as a child. You see, a whole lot of people are jobless, and young boys in the age of 30, age bracket of say 30, 20 through 30, 40, come to us and ask it, and I find that a little repulsive.
It is.
So making a contribution where I am required to give them a drink at even a subsidized rate is not going to be helpful to the happy hour.
We have taken the conversation away from the drink because, like we said, we never, from day one that statement was made, we know that when ideas come, they get refined. And unfortunately, the aides were not able to put ideas together. Say, Excellency, can we do it this way? That's why we thought of something. As we speak, Open Forum has a master plan that if we have, for instance, 25 million, we can affect over 20,000 persons with evidence. It's not in dream.
Now you're speaking.
Yes, that is our position.
What can we do?
Yes, that we sustainable.
Sustainable at the very local level.
Absolutely.
Where our youth will benefit from it. If you're speaking in that direction,
that is the direction.
I will support. Because there is a whole lot of joblessness and aimlessness. We have to give the people hope. What is the hope of a young man in the village? The greatest hope he has is ambition.
Yes.
He wants to own a motorcycle. That's his highest ambition.
It's true.
And carry a couple of little girls in the village at the back, and that to me is it's not a starter. We have to move them from that mindset to a mindset of productivity.
Absolutely.
Where they can work and be rewarded for what they do.
And from their labor,
and
from
get
services.
pride from the whatever contribution in terms of work. And move them away from an area of just receiving charity from well-meaning people or politicians or people who are aspiring to be personal assistant to this. No, we have to move away from there and say, if you're working in the farm and all this, if you are working and want to have a happy hour at the end of the farm working week, and we'll cook and we eat and enjoy the work we have done. That may be a way to start, but that would be my...
I thank you. No, we nailed it, and I just want to use this opportunity to reiterate what we have said in Open Forum. His Excellency has said what Happy Hour represents, and want to appeal to His Excellency again that there are so many people with grievances, with cases that they don't know how to get them solved. And one of the happiest hour will be if His Excellency could establish the Peace and Reconciliation Committee. Let people that have issues go there, put their problems across, and we'll get this resolved. They don't need money. And until that is done, it's not enough that we appear to be celebrating every day. I have a number of petitions. We can't even meet up the workload with Open Forum having to do with people who are crying. You may see them laugh here. The next moment they are crying because nobody is attending to their needs. We want to appeal to His Excellency. We like this rebranding, but it's not enough because it cannot be weekly, as was said. But we can make Happy Hour daily if we have institutions and we have the buy-in of citizens, like Prof and Captain has said, that will make these things sustainable.